First thing, I started off with 3 different kicks, but made them blend well together. The first kick I use is called an importer kick, which sounds sort of like this. So the next thing that I came up with was the groove kick. Now it has that thump, but I still need to feel vibration. What better way than an 808? I think I made it able to completely combine into a good enough kick, especially for this song. Then of course I used the bass line that was provided. What I did with the provided bass line break that Steve gave, I wanted to add a flange, press it a little bit, make it a little bit take out some of the low end, add this effect on FL Studios called Love Filter, and it's spelled with PH instead of F. And it has this setting called Stereoizer, which can sort of automatic movement pan from left to right, but also give it a little sort of a phase effect to it. So and then I use this thing called gross beat to chop it up. Of course, the noise lead, what I use with that, instead of it just being what I did was I sampled it so it could change notes. Vocal effects. I've used all 5. Like this. But I figured it would be a good sort of ad-lib for when the second time the chorus comes in for Delirious. This, just random ad-lib, pop out of nowhere. That as well. I made sure with this one, I panned that to the left, and I panned that to the right. I added a delay just so it can spread, especially when the breakdown starts to come in. So now of course I like this one. What I did with that, you'll hear it in the very beginning, sort of pump up the song a little bit. You know, with a little reverb into it, not too much so it won't drown out the rest of the sounds that have it. I use 3 snares. And this one. Then to combine them to a really good resonating sound. Yeah. I use that. I also use another snare. It's a trap house kind of hip hop snare. But I use that as the trill. Yeah. I changed the pitch an octave up from how it originally is, but to the la la la's part, that's when I bring it in originally. I also added claps just to give it like if this was being played out loud and there's a crowd and I want them to clap along with the music. Don't forget the hi-hat. What you've been waiting for is the sounds. I have this arpeggiated synth sound to acid synth. And basically, what it sounds like. And this orchestra strings. I wanted to be sure that the notes and the sounds that I play fit to the key. Because I think this is in like G sharp minor or B major, whichever the key may be. Another thing that I added that I wanted to sort of make my own was the bass. Now, even though the bass line was provided, I still want to add my own just to give it a different feel to it, especially in the beginning, just to come out of nowhere. So what I used was a bass deep saw. There's two different saws. One is called a buzz saw, and the other one is basically a bass deep saw. With that one, I added a couple of effects to it. I added a chorus effect, a distortion effect, and just a gross beat. What I did was I created like a gate. It's like a half beat gate. There it is. Alright, so I added the distortion. Then I added a gross beat to have like a half beat gate. And then I used the chorus effect. And I also made sure that I EQ it a little bit to take some of the low out, since there's already a bass line to it. Now for the buzzsaw, I used the same chorus, but that's pretty much it. I made sure that I mixed the volumes of the sound, each vocal, every kick, snare, a little bit of hi-hat. Made sure every bass wasn't overpowering all of the high frequencies, and at the same time not making it sound too sharp to a person's ear. But yeah, so I'll play the actual song right now.
Kidding. Hold up, you got me woke up. The way you roll that, sticky like okra. Just let me coach ya, show you about my culture. It's a late night show like Coconut. Bitch, the party ain't over. Go ham in here and grab your friend by the hand. Let me know, is you down? Body like playmate of the year. I might make the play of the year. I already know that we don't play fair, but I think that